Now that you have a working topic for your research, the next step is to write a problem statement. Now, an effective statement of the problem is concise and concrete. It should put the problem in context, which answers the question, what do we already know? And then describe the precise issues that the research will address, answering the question, what do we need to know? And then show the relevance of the problem, answering the question, why do we need to know it? Lastly, it should set the objectives of the research, effectively answering the question, what will we do to find out? Now, in academic research, writing a problem statement can help you contextualize and understand the significance of your research problem. A problem statement can be several paragraphs long and serve as a basis for your research proposal, or it can be condensed into just a few sentences in the introductory part of your paper. Now, the problem statement will look differently depending on whether you are dealing with a real-world practical problem or a theoretical scientific issue. But all problem statement follows a similar process. Now, in this video, we will talk about the steps in writing a problem statement, starting with the contextualization of a problem. The problem statement should frame your research problem in its particular context and give some background on what is already known about it. For practical researches, you may want to focus on the concrete details of the situation. You may want to ask the following questions. Where and where does the problem arise? Or who does the problem affect? Lastly, you may want to ask the question, what attempts have been made to solve the problem? For theoretical questions or theoretical researches, you may want to think about the scientific, social, geographical, or historical background. Ask yourself the following questions. What is already known about the problem? Second, is the problem limited to a certain time period or a geographical area? Lastly, answer the question, how has the problem been defined and debated in scholarly literature? The second step is to show why your research matters. Now, the problem statement should also address the relevance of the research. It should answer the question, why is it important that the problem is solved? This does not mean you have to do something groundbreaking or world-changing. It's more important that the problem is researchable, feasible, and clearly addresses a relevant issue in your field. Practical research is directly relevant to a specific problem that affects an organization, institution, social group, or society more broadly. To make it clear why your research problem matters, you can ask yourself, number one, what will happen if the problem is not solved? Or you can also ask yourself, who will feel the consequences? And does the problem have wider relevance? For example, are there similar issues found in other contexts? Sometimes theoretical issues have clear practical consequences, but sometimes their relevance is less immediately obvious. To identify why the problem matters, ask yourself, how will resolving the problem advance the understanding of this topic? Furthermore, you can ask yourself, what benefits will it have for future research? Finally, you can ask yourself, does the problem have direct or indirect consequences for society? Now, finally, the problem statement should frame how you intend to address the problem. Your goal should not be to find a conclusive solution, but to seek out the reasons behind the problem and propose more effective approaches to tackling or understanding it. Your aim is the overall purpose of your research. It is generally written in the infinitive form. You can use the following phrases to frame your aims. You can start by saying the aim of this study is to determine this, that, and such. Or you can also say the project aims to explore this, that, and such in this, that, and such population. Lastly, you can say that the researchers aim to investigate this, that, and such, this, that, and such. Moreover, your objectives are the concrete steps you will take to achieve the aim. For example, you might want to say qualitative methods will be used to identify this, that, and such. Also, you can say that the researchers will use a survey to collect the data from this, that, and such. Lastly, you may want to say using statistical analysis, the research will measure this, that, and such. The ultimate goal of a statement of the problem is to transform a generalized problem into a targeted, well-defined problem. One that can be resolved through focused research and careful decision making. In this video, we presented the 3 steps in writing a problem statement that will help you to clearly identify the purpose of the research project you will propose in the future. Again, this has been Dex Kamitan, and thank you for watching.